If you don't know, my guest today lives out of her van, as you can see, and I'm gonna have a good one for you. So let's go check out Samia and see how she living.
Hi.
So on this episode of Just Quit Cribs, we got Samia and her moving domicile.
Hey, y'all. All right, so we're going to give y'all a tour of the whole space. Y'all can see a full one online, but to get us started, all right?
Yes.
So I am a mom, so I do have a chalkboard here for my son to do his homework. Right here, we have a cutting board / desk situation. And we have a chair, so that way we can always pull this out. Or, cutting and cooking with a little view. Let's see. I have a 2-eye burner stove. It takes gas. And this is my kitchen. Clearly, I hate teal, And I have my knives to cut someone in case they try anything. And my utensils. And, so all that stuff. I got a junk drawer, too, so it really feel like home. Like, for real. This is where our shower stuff is and all my hair supplies because, it's just really hard to, maintain all this. And then cooking stuff, okay? Because we be cooking it up, all right? A full body because, you need one of those. You know what I'm saying? Full body mirror, even though we in the house. And then under here, I keep 18 gallons of fresh water. This is my sink, and this stretches out so when we go camping and stuff, we can rinse off our feet before we get in. This is my bed, and it changes into a picnic table situation. I like to keep it as a bed. And then my son has a Japanese floor mattress, and so he pulls it out, and either he can sleep here, or whenever my friends come on the van and stuff, and they ain't trying to, rub all on me and stuff, they can have their own bed. And you open the doors up. I got my fishing poles, you know what I'm saying? Because we'll be out here catching the fishes respectfully, with respect. Towels, books, under here, clothes. We got a fridge, my closet / pantry of sorts. Don't worry about that. It does what it needs to do. And then clothes and storage behind you. But that's pretty much it. And my bathroom is down here. Everyone always wants to know where to use the bathroom. This is my bathroom, okay? And there it is. And whenever I use the bathroom, I have a nice, view of the wilderness, And I shower at Planet Fitness or my host family's home. So I'll be living in a van and stuff. So check me out on YouTube.
Welcome back to another episode of Just Quit, the podcast putting the battery in your back to say fuck that job and choose the life that you deserve. I'm your host, Darius Ricks, Mr. Make It Happen, and I'm here joined with Miss Samia Burton. She does all the things, Bankrupt Millionaire, Sexual Essentials. She just finished reading my charts, and it's not bullshit. She actually knows what she's talking about. Anything that I missed, we'll probably talk about it. But
all the things, astrology, van life, all the things, mom life, all that shit. Hey, you guys, thank you for having me.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna just dive right into it, right?
Let's do it.
Dear Diary.
Okay.
When did the life you prayed for stop feeling like your life?
Dear Diary. I didn't pray for the life that I had, that I built. I thought I was running towards a life that I was trying to create, but I think I was just running from another life. So I don't think that I ever prayed for the things I was doing. I thought those were the things that would get me away from what I was trying to get away from. And, it's a way out, and a lot of people resonate with like college. They find their way out that way. But I think each business that I've built has just been a reflection of what I'm trying to get away from. And I think that's like the transition I'm in now, not creating a life in response to anything, but creating a life with my foundation, not leftovers from my past story or, things like that. Just really want to start brand new.
Okay, so then those things that you built to get away from, they also help fuel this life, help you get this money, help you have this freedom that you have.
Absolutely.
Was it hard to let go of those things that you built as pretty much as a trauma response? Or?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I first said I didn't want to do sexual essentials anymore, everybody said I was crazy because I was making 5 figures a month while traveling the world. I didn't even have to do anything anymore. It don't matter who podcast I got on, like it was going viral and things like that. And you're talking about 40 grand a month on one stream of income, just on one. You know what I'm saying? Not even talking about the products or if I do an event or something like that. Yeah. So when I said that like I had hit a ceiling and it wasn't fulfilling anymore, it was so much judgment because it's like, but you're doing so well. And it's like, well, what is well to you? So every time, even when I closed down the content house, but I realized that I use creativity to process what it is that I'm going through. Everything I've been creating, sexual essentials was just the first thing that people noticed. Mm-hmm. And so I started giving more to that because I was getting attention from it and because it was working. But eventually it hit a ceiling just because after a while, people ask you to teach them how to do something so in depth. And it's like, baby, the problem is not the bedroom. The problem is the fact that you no longer consent to this partner. The fact is that you got some trauma that's buried underneath there. It's so many other problems. And that's not what I got consent to talk about with them, So I needed something else.
So what's something that people are still expecting from the old Samia that the new one, because we on like 4.0 at this point, that the new one will no longer put up with that? It's probably a long list, so you can just give me 2 or 3.
I no longer do things because I can. Just because I can, I learned because there's nothing I can't do. I've realized anything that I need to do, I can do. But just because I can doesn't mean I will anymore because that's not serving me, right? What else? I've stopped explaining myself. I think a lot of people are looking for the next, what's going to happen next type situation, but I think I've retired. I'm just going back to the old me, which was creating what I want to create. And so I don't have a story to tell nobody. There's no expectations this time. So if anybody has any,
So what was it about this transition that helped you, not to sound corny, but find the truth? Like, what was it that you realized, like, okay, I'm not really losing something or giving up, but I'm kind of making this full circle of going back to where I should have been in the first place?
Absolutely. I feel like life kind of like Candyland or like Chutes and Ladders or something, right?
Okay.
When you hit a chute, like you go down, but at the next minute you could hit a ladder and go farther than like where you left off. And I feel like the universe don't like recycle. So like if you need to do a practice lane, it's available to you. And when you get back on track, you pick up right where you left off. And so I realized like I was going where I needed to go. Sexual essentials was aligned as fuck. I was supposed to do that. Hell, based off my birth chart, I even learned that, which is another reason that even astrology came up. They serve the same line in the birth chart. Sexology and astrology are both in like an esoteric situation. You know what I'm saying? And people treat me the same about it. When I said I was doing sexual essentials, everybody was like, that's crazy, da 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 da. You ever told somebody about astrology and see what response you get? It's not going to be good. But the thing is, y'all listen to me with that shit. Y'all said I didn't need that. And yet I was making, $1 million here, $1 million there. And so, like here we are. So it's like, I think, I don't know. When I did the content house and I failed at it, it fucked me up because how do you go from being a millionaire to bankrupt within 3 years? I missed something. It's almost like when you have a blackhead. Like, did you get the head out? And mind you, I started the content house after doing all these different types of therapies and EMDR, trauma therapy, like all that shit.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you there, right? Because it's like you're saying a lot and you got to break it down. And the first thing I want to break down is you started it, you related life to a game, Candyland. I relate life to Madden in regards to levels of difficulty. When I talk to people, I look and see what and listen to what you got going on to see if you playing on rookie or if you playing on all Madden like me, right? So that's first and foremost. So when you say a practice lane and you just say you can choose like, oh, I got this little side quest, I can do the side quest and still get back to the main mission. Can you break down and explain and let people know like it's okay to leave the thing, whatever it be, the bad job, the bad relationship, the bad thing, and try some other shit because you got options. Like, can you explain that and like how you realize that?
See, a lot of people want to choose right. That's not guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? With the content house, I recreated the exact same thing as Sexual Essentials, and they weren't the same thing. Everybody, it wasn't the same thing. Veering off and starting something new was an investment in myself, and I was wrong. I wasn't wrong about the whole thing, but the way I did it was wrong. And it wasn't a linear situation. It wasn't a linear situation.
How can the people identify if it's linear or not? Because again, people just gonna see, oh, it's supposed to print dollars. If it print dollars, it makes sense.
Sexual Essentials was a business based on my face. Like most people didn't even know my name. They just knew that's Miss Sexual Essentials, right? I took my face out of it and I became something that was more digestible, even though it was magnificent. People never seen anything like the Something Extraordinary Content House, right? But by removing it and making it more digestible, I fucked the whole thing up. Everything that I did with Sexual Essentials, this is like Oprah does everything with her name on it. XO Nicole sold something with her name on it to Will Packer. Why did I think that I couldn't continue to grow with something that was centered around me? Because when you lose or when the Instagram page got deleted, it felt like, see, this wasn't as sustainable as I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it felt like fast money in a moment. It was never fast money, but it felt like it because it's like I can't get sponsorships. I'm getting censored everywhere and all these other things, right? So just getting tired of that shit, I was like, you know what? I'm really good at doing media and production. These were all my ideas. Everybody's always asking me in the industry, what should I do? How should I do it? Da, 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 da. So I'm thinking that this was just a stepping stone to me showing up and being in service to everybody else because all I ever wanted to do was help. Sexual Essentials was my way of helping, but I'm like, clearly the world needs more unique type of content creators and different shit, and they don't know how to. Bringing sex to mainstream, that's some 50 Shades of Grey shit. You know what I'm saying? You rarely see sex in the mainstream like that. And shout out to the pioneers. You got Horrible Decisions Cocktail Podcast that been doing it, and fucking Superhead that then laid the groundwork for us to bring things that everybody shuns, right? So when I decided to do something that was more normal, that showed up for everybody else, for the community, I had to get to the point where I realized the community ain't asked for this shit. And so you're trying to give something away that's a business plan. It took everything out of me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go back and I took this 18-month gap year so I could really compare and contrast what was going on. But you know what I'm saying? I had to dig at the bottom.
So, okay, did the crash result in the bankruptcy or did you crash before it? Like when did you, I don't want to say hit rock bottom, but when did you realize, oh shit, I'm on the back end. Oh damn, I'm sliding. Oh damn.
Something's wrong. Yeah. All right. The first year into the content house. So when I started the content house, and I've always made every risk myself. So it didn't feel weird. Everything I've always put up, I've already paid for, whatever. So I took 6 figures, invested in the look and bought the house and things like that, right? I didn't account for the media strike. So remember, the film industry went on strike at that same time, and I was connected with a lot of bigger names. So it was like, even actors and stuff weren't even doing podcasts like that, just trying to stand with like, you know what I'm saying?
People weren't working at all.
People weren't working out because there is union.
Gotcha.
So out of respect, you don't even ask none of that, right? So a lot of things slowed down in the media world. And so it's like, they say when you first start a company, you're supposed to have 3 years of expenses and things like that. When you have a brick and mortar, you know what I'm saying? Like, can you really handle this?
Yeah.
So I put so much, I also wanted it to be right. And so I designed the content house in 3 months. Like that's really fast to do something, like all of it was concrete. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't just start that at once. I started the podcast and the content house at the same time. And then I ended up also adding production. At first it was a location, but then I ended up doing it all in one, deciding to invest in the equipment and things like that, right?
So realistically, it sounded like you went bankrupt emotionally before you went bankrupt financially?
Well, if you go ahead and turn on Bankrupt Millionaire, that's exactly what it is. What I found out, going bankrupt meant I'm bankrupt somewhere else in my life. If you're bankrupt in one area of your life, you're bankrupt in another, but nobody can relate because they think it's just finances. If something's wrong with your love life, it's because something's wrong somewhere else in your life. If something's wrong, like everything is duality. And so the business part, I ain't never got wrong. Everything I did always was because I wanted to, and I've always been rewarded for that. That's my story, right? The content house was about how can I share my gifts? When you get rich and everybody else ain't, it's confusing. You want to help. When you come from nothing, you like, how do I help? How do I, you know what I'm saying? You just give, ain't never been valued unless you give, you know?
I'll add my 2 cents onto it because like I'm on that journey and it's like I haven't hit the millions yet, but I see myself making strides and progress. And it's like, why isn't everybody else around me? But I don't carry it the same way you do because I had to realize like I'm making choices that everybody else can make. And yes, sometimes it's not the right time for them. Sometimes some people don't know, but a lot of the time, some people just not willing to make that sacrifice that I'm making.
That's facts.
So it's like, why did you carry it the way you did?
I chose bankruptcy. I could have made it work. Like I said, I can make anything work. But the point is, I've never done a business to make money. Everybody else is an entrepreneur to like get rich and do all this other shit. I'm just trying to become a woman that's not starting in the negative. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just say trigger warning because everybody's not aware of the story. Like coming from a place where you got daddy climbing in the bed, mama still married to him, these kind of situations, everybody else out here trying to get money. I'm just trying to feel safe. And so having things, being able to afford to leave, you know what I'm saying? Being able to afford sovereignty made me feel safe, but affording sovereignty and actually having it isn't the same. And so I realized after a while, every decision I'm making is to maintain something I've acquired. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's time to just actually start failing. And failing, fix the situation. I had never failed before. What is that? I'm sorry, what? But that failure, it left me with a portfolio. I have the portfolio of a 54-year-old man. I ain't got to work another job. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about asset-wise. I'm talking about like proof of concept and things like that. Like everything I did in the content house was years of experience in one, because I wasn't just doing one. I was the creative director. I was the producer. You know what I'm saying? Like so many different types of things, events, everything. I proved what I said. But the thing is, who asked me to prove it? You see what I'm saying? So my conquest with these things isn't business. It was emotional, you know? And the thing is if I want to do some emotional shit, living a life I don't need a vacation from doesn't get bigger. It actually gets smaller, which is why this works better for me to live that way. Like, you know what I mean?
The bankruptcy showed you the freedom you never really had, right?
Absolutely.
So the freedom that you have now, what are you doing to like keep that shit going?
Keep the freedom going?
Yeah.
So,
because you say you got the assets, but just because you have the assets, you have that itch to make some shit that can take over your life again. Like, how do you fight that?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna never stop creating. I think I'm just returning back to who I was before the world saw me, and realizing that sometimes you're just a lion in a glass. They're gonna watch you whether you attacking something or you taking a piss. Like eyes are just gonna be on you. Understanding like what your archetype is in this life, I think matters. I'm a person that's meant to be seen. I'm living and doing stuff, but not for people to see me just because I'm an outward expresser. So that hasn't stopped. It's just more so saying I'm gonna keep creating whether people fuck with what I'm creating with or not, which is technically the same way I started Sexual Essentials. But anyways, asset-wise, I actually let go of everything that was like all the real estate, even the real estate for my son. I let everything go. And a lot of the things that I bought when I had money, I'm very proud of decisions. Like the things that I bought, like this was paid off, for example. Or like I'm on a 30-day solo road trip, return home to myself shit. In this gap year situation, and I sold a couple of bags to do it. And it's like, to me, it's transferring one asset to another asset, because for me, memories is not vacation. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the things that I think about when I'm not okay, because I'm like, I know what's possible type shit. But yeah, so I have what I need. And every time I try to do more, I'm not really sitting in the present.
Yeah.
Because I'm focused on tomorrow.
Focus on your phone, email, text messages, whatever.
I changed that as well. Like I got another phone and I did not add emails and stuff to it. I got a small phone. It's like 250 gigs. it keeps me in check. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm surprised you didn't go full trap phone, the flip phone.
hey, man, when I tell you I'm considering it, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
So I'll say this because I think it's something that people need to understand. And we were just talking about it. Like, I'm fresh off of burnout, like literally a couple of days off of burnout, right? And I told you I knew my boundaries to myself, and I still blew past them because that's just, I'm a go.
Yeah.
And help the people with this. So finish this sentence. I knew I was emotionally bankrupt when
all the sacrifices I was making didn't render me the reward. They were rendering the reward to someone else.
Can you give me one example?
Absolutely. Maintain, like, the content house was draining my pockets, and the people that were working with me were making money.
You because were making other people rich at your
not at rich. Rich is a stretch, but you know what I'm saying. But I didn't understand my value, and so I was bartering it. And you can't barter with someone that has never started. You know what I'm saying? Like, and working with people that are expecting you to do it for them and things like that. Like, and not in a bad way. Like, everything was fine while I was fine, and you attract what you attract because that's what you thought that was okay. But when I realized, like, a lot of the sacrifices I were making, I had a home. This shit paid off. You know what I'm saying? Why am I not starting over? Because I want to be loyal. These people helped me and saw me. And really just having to take the fucking emotions out of it, which is they helped you because it helps them. They did it because it's beneficial. Not because they're trying to use you, but because it would be beneficial to work with you. Why did you barter with them? Was it beneficial or just because you didn't have this skill? So even just learning to, like, start at a lower level, start where you are, is the best thing. Like, I started off big here because I left off big in the last thing. But the top of one mountain is the bottom of another. You see what I'm saying? But I started off up here with the content house, came out and did shit they never did production before in that scape, and started off so big. So there was no room. It's almost like with my marriage. Mind you, I got divorced, but we got married in a year, but we didn't live together. We didn't take any small steps. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of things I think that we have to break. A lot of the things that we think makes stuff successful, like it being more crisp, it being more official, like just really having to redo what I think is what do I value?
Okay. So you transition perfectly to this next question. You're talking about identifying burnout, which is necessary. And then normally, in what we're trying to push here, you identify that burnout and realize you're getting burnt out because the life you're choosing isn't the one. You know, you got to choose the life that is deserving of you and your time. Yeah. So when you burnt out, you realize you got to make that change. What is the difference between just running away from your problems and designing a life that actually suits you?
Running away is not avoiding, because I was always aware of, like, what my issues were, right? But when you can't sit in the pain, you don't realize the pain is also a thing you need because it transmutes into something else. You kind of just skip this whole chapter altogether. But returning home to the thing that I didn't receive is what really fixed everything. I was not nurtured at home, not properly. But that's something you can do for yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people we say it, but nobody really knows what it means. You know what I'm saying? Until you got to do it. But breaking my own heart, honestly, was the best thing I could ever do.
So it's really, you're designing your life when you feel the pain or you feel you're
trying to avoid it. Also, disappointing motherfuckers. Disappointing people, a quick way to start getting where the fuck if you're not disappointing nobody, you lying. Like, that's like having a marriage with no issues. I ain't saying y'all got to be, you know what I'm saying, boxing it out. But if there are absolutely no disagreements, that mean I wouldn't even hire somebody that only agreed with me. You see what I'm saying? And yeah. But this, I failed, which allowed me to go through the consequences. When you skip the consequences, you're just running from something. The consequences of how I grew up is the life that I just made. But at a point, it's been years that I decided, like, okay, from this point on, I'm going to do the very best I can. And now I'm getting to a point where it's more days where I'm doing more of what I want in the future. So now my life looks like a collection of those things. But a lot of people can't withstand the consequences of their actions. For 18 months, I have been getting hit. I mean, 14 grand taken out of my child's account. Like, in a day, like, when I tell you everything, like the investment property, you know what I'm saying? Like, having to close these, I lost so much. But all of those things were decisions I made for the future. And the thing is that I'm not in the future yet. So I can't build a life that I want to retire from today, because then I'm just sitting next to it waiting to die. I'm not really living. We think about, what am I going to want in 50 years? You have no idea what you're going to want in 50 years. But I've built my 50-year-old life already. That's not what you're supposed to do. And so now I have this life where I've reaped the consequences of everything I did, which gives you the wisdom that you really need to not do it again. You know?
So right now, as we sit here, do you think you're healed, or have you just removed all of your triggers?
No. I think before, that's what I was living in, removed all the triggers. I don't think healing has a destination or an ending, but I do think I'm at a point where I'm allowed to go and integrate again. It's time to go live. I feel like I'm back in college. Like, this is the way, you know what I told Lala the other day? I said, this feels like when I lived in Brazil. Almost every single thing about my life right now is just like I lived in, yes, I was free as a bird. I live in a city that within 2 hours, I can go visit so many other fire-ass coastal cities, which is why I picked Fortaleza when I lived in Brazil. I don't have any financial responsibility outside of my son, which is, taken care of on a separate note, but getting my fucking whimsy back, the risk. At some point, I was taking more risk in other people than I was in myself. And I think that you have to go back to when you made that decision. And I love my son and everything, but a lot of that decision just started with marrying the incorrect person, and not incorrect as in it's wrong. It did what it was supposed to do, but also, why did I choose that person? And then going below, like I said, just really digging to the root and the foundation of it all. And it's the one thing I never allowed myself to do. I've been running, as soon as I got out of my parents' home, I was just trying not to go back, and I create to process my pain. And so I guess it was bound to create something that it hit, plus the business degree, so, shit just worked out.
All right. Taking a bit of a left turn. Can you be sexually liberated and still emotionally unavailable?
Absolutely. Most of y'all sexually liberated and emotionally unavailable, because y'all always talking about emotionally unavailable people, but emotionally unavailable people are only attracted to other emotionally unavailable people.
So what you're saying is, I'm going to look into the camera. She said, you the problem. Okay.
Because when you go to the gas station and old boy hitting on you, you don't even pay him no attention. Right? Like, you don't even pay no attention because you don't even consider it. But then you consider somebody that doesn't have any of the things that you want, but you're considering it, which means they know that you're not really about what you're talking about. Like, you're not standing on business. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You can be wooed, you can be swayed, you can be talked out of something different. You want to feel intimacy, but intimacy isn't sex. Sex is sex. And I will say that if you look into change your life, the reason that Sexual Essentials worked for me is because I was creating magic from scratch. A lot of y'all don't have the power to lead a situation when you're voluntarily giving your body to somebody and it feels unconsensual because you don't really want to do that thing, but you feel like, oh, I'm supposed to do this. You don't want none of the consequences of your actions for addressing a thing, for losing a thing. When you take something away, when you tell somebody the truth, there's a consequence to that. And a lot of people want to skip the consequences, the uncomfortable part. Put on your big boy drawers. Like, you got to. There's nothing else you can fucking do except address it. You don't want to address the consequences of changing your mind.
So you address the bankruptcy, you address the burnout to have you change your whole life. You address having to accept that you chose the wrong person to marry. What adjustments did you need to make as a mother to become the Samia that you aspire to be more often than not?
I made that my full-time job. So when I first started the gap year, I planned on taking 1 year, but 6 months into it, I wasn't working for the summer, and kids, they be so happy and all this other stuff. And he was like, "It's the best summer I ever had. You not having a job." That's the last thing he should have told me, because I said, "Oh, okay, I think I'm gonna retire." And that doesn't mean that I won't take another contract. I just accepted the contract, but it's a contract that I would have did for free. Now my life looks like only choosing things that I would have done for free. Would I do them for free? No. But the point is that I'm choosing. I've made my life small enough that I can choose to only do what I want to do. When your expenses are $1,500 a month, including gas and food, you can start choosing to do what you want to do. You see what I'm saying? So making sure that I'm available to him was more important because, mind you, I chose the content house because I said, even if this doesn't work, this is a piece of real estate for him. What if he ended up being a nomad? And then now he got spite with me because, bitch, you bought this 40 years ago with a nigga you ain't even with no more, trying to make me do this. You know what I'm saying? We try to make our kids do something else. What can I do today? Best thing I could do for today is be a woman that respects herself so my child can see that and let him, be a child. But we do all this stuff for our kids, and then I ain't even got no time to spend with them because I'm doing all this stuff for you. Who am I doing it for then? Because all they want to do is play pig. All I did was play pig all summer so far. Go to Wakulla Springs, you know what I'm saying? A little beachy action.
So for you, what is more intimate, like true intimacy? Being desired, being understood, or being safe enough to change?
Safety for me is definitely intimacy. I think they're different for everybody because their values are different. But I'll say for me, safety is huge. I am a huge emotional processor, and intimacy for me is like sovereignty. Sovereignty for sure. Sovereignty, safety. I don't want to say sexy, but it's just like the 3 S's, but no, not sexy. But intimacy is when people aren't betting on you staying a certain way. Like when I think about intimacy, I think about my friendships. And I just don't think that I can have a love or a partnership that's just not respectful of what my friendships do for me. Every time I call them with a new idea, and you go through these phases where you're like, well, I want to do this. Man, one time I called them and told them I wanted to make boiled peanuts and turkey necks. And they was like, okay, so when you going to do that? I mean, it's fire, but they're encouraging everything.
That's toxic positivity. That's that bullshit.
So, yes,
you need people to call you on your shit.
Yes and no. It depends. If I'm talking about investing $20,000, yes, they should say, sit the hell down. But if I say I just want to do this for fun, they should encourage me to go do what I want to do when it can't be measured as what's successful. Because every time I've hit it, when essence, anybody, any big thing that I've gotten, it has never been from my work. It's always been from me going out and having fun. I've never made money from my creations. I make my creations and then people hire me and say, whatever you did for yourself, can you do it for me? Me having fun is the base of my life. And I never realized that the universe, God, whatever your thing is, was giving me back my childhood. My career is being a kid. And when I stop being a kid, my life falls apart. So it's a lot of trust, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my format. That might not be your format. You might need to have a little more common sense. Don't be trying to be whimsy if that ain't your thing.
Okay, so then what's the survival trait, the survival tactic that you once thought was your superpower that you now realize is like really blocking you from the kid that you want to remain?
The fact that I can do anything. I can do anything. Whatever I decide to do, that's the problem. So I had to realize, I had to figure out, make sure you don't know what you want. Don't make no more decisions until you can tell me what you want, or at least tell me what you don't want. That's my superpower, that I can do anything. I can withstand anything. When you start life off the way that I have, there's nothing I can't do. That's the problem. So it's like Lenny on a Mice and Men. That dude was big as hell and snapped the old girl neck because he ain't know how strong he was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I go into projects, I have to remember, hey, you ain't got to rebuild the Taj Mahal. You could just
do the job they asked you to do.
Yes and no, but a lot of people come, whole nother topic, but learning that and understanding that I can take life seriously in my own way. It doesn't have to be because you think I'm taking it seriously. When tomorrow I'm going fishing, that's a part of my schedule this week. I can't do what I need to do if I don't go, you know what I'm saying, do that. That's a part of it. So really using my superpowers for myself instead of sharing them. I'm not sharing anymore. I know that sounds terrible, but every time I start trying to teach what I'm doing to somebody else, I start losing because that wasn't my passion. That's just what continues getting me seen. Because people are like, I love this. You see it under people posts. People will post and people are like, oh, I love this. And then they start asking questions. How'd you do that? Where'd you get started? After you do something, then people want to come to you for the answer because nobody want to do it alone. The same answers is out there somewhere else that you could research the exact same shit.
So, I want you to take a moment and speak directly to the women here. And I want to be hyper specific. I want you to speak directly to Black women because I feel like they are the ones that unfortunately get caught up in feeling the thought of, I can't make a change the most more than anyone else, because they're targeted, because of all the reasons that they're not supported, right? What or how can they identify the difference between a real boundary and fear? Because there's a difference between setting a boundary and just being scared of something.
Yeah. First off, you're going to be wrong a lot. And what's right today may be wrong for you tomorrow. So let go of the fact that like it's going to be one way forever, which means you probably got to stop being judgmental about everybody else, so you can stop judging yourself. Stop judging yourself when things change. That's one. Two, start where the fuck you are. I think you need to start where you actually are. A lot of people are looking at people that have a different set of resources or whatever. I don't believe in one perfect plan for anything. I make plans based off the resources that I have within my reach. So you can't create a life that look like somebody else's and you ain't got what they got. Also, the goal be too fucking big. Stop focusing on the end goal and just focus on starting consistently. Do something consistently. Yeah, a lot of people like, oh, I want to work out, but da-da-da-da-da. And the but is usually because it can't be big. And then you suggest to them, hey, go ahead and just start walking for 10 minutes. And they minimize that. Well, that's not enough. Are you doing that now? You're not, right? So it's like beating a baby's ass because it didn't start running first. It gotta fall, it gotta crawl, it gotta walk. Like, it's so many other things that I just think that everybody is measuring. Measuring doesn't exist. And a lot of the thoughts that you have about yourself aren't even yours. Don't even remember what the fuck the question was, but you need to figure out the value for yourself.
All right.
For real.
That's good. We're not even going to circle back to that one because I want to keep going on just, you touched it on a little bit. It's really the discipline, right? Because discipline is it's a hot take. It's a triggering word now because people overuse it and use it in the wrong way.
Well, if we're talking to Black women, I don't think that we need to be talking about discipline. I think y'all been disciplined enough. I think it's time to be devoted. You're a woman.
Okay.
That don't mean you got to throw on lip gloss and none of that shit, but you are a woman. So your superpower comes from your intuitiveness. So being devoted is just you worshiping yourself, which is why you can't recognize when somebody else is not worshiping you or not respecting you because you've never actually felt it before. So you're looking for it. But if you actually devote to yourself, you'll know what it feels like to wake up when you're tired and do something else or to let yourself sleep. You being disciplined is you not listening to your body. You're saying that this is how I'm going to do it when most of those discipline rules came from men whose body has the same emotional current day to day. It starts over at the top of the day versus women. Your hormones are literally different every day. You want someone to take care of you in a certain way that you can't give them instructions on. You know what I'm saying? Like you need devotion. You need to be devoted to yourself. Everybody trying to discipline. And the thing about discipline is you barely like where you are now when you're just trying to be disciplined versus when you're devoted. You like, I'll be real with y'all. I'm trying to lose 20 pounds because walking getting harder. I'm short. But I think I look fucking swell. I'm hanging on to my Jill Scott curves right now because when they gone, these jeans ain't gonna fit the way they jean in today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's another part. Y'all being so fucking mean to yourself. You're being so disciplined about everything that you're not even devoted. I'm devoted to every single one of these motherfucking roles. And then when they gone, I'm gonna be devoted to that version of me too. Like,
so,
you know,
true or false, starting over is easier after you've already been successful once?
You know what to do, yes. You know what to do.
But is it easier? Is it harder? Is it the same?
It's not the same. It's not the same. Because the first time you've been successful, talk for my damn self. First time that I was successful, it worked. But also I didn't realize I was building on faulty ground. So like when you do it the second time, you have to still look at the old story, all the things that you've done to figure out which parts are the parts I should keep. And then which parts were built from a place that's not the most authentic version of me. And also, how do I create something that can change with me? Like whether I start, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so then you building a new thing off of the old success, but then you didn't know that old success was built on faulty ground. How do you, in this new phase of your life, understand, oh, yes, the old person, he was right. They were right then, but they're not right now. Like, how do you tell the difference?
When you're not looking for validation, you can actually respond to the energy that's in front of you. A lot of people are
when I decided the content house, I didn't look at the energy the content house was giving me. I had already decided how I wanted to do it, which means that if you already decided, it's based off how you want to be seen versus what the thing is actually giving you so you can respond to that. Sexual Essentials blew up because I added more as people wanted more. I started with everything at the content house and I didn't actually get to listen to the parts that people wanted. It's what I wanted. And I thought, again, it's something that I was making something for the community that the community didn't ask me for. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's a big part of it. And this time, and also you have to let go of the past. There's a big part of what I'm doing now where I have to let go of all the past. And I can't, some of that inner wisdom I learned though. So you can't let that go.
Okay. So
But yeah.
some of that wisdom you learned along the go, but true wisdom is being able to, well, my definition of wisdom is learning from other people's mistakes. So to help people do that right now, can you tell the people what you did to help you make that change? Like, okay, you realize the business that I built is paying some bills, is doing the right thing, is successful.
How do you actually sort it out?
What is the first thing you did to start undoing it?
First, I failed. That's one. And then two, I ain't gonna lie to you, I went back to astrology. I'm a person that's like specifics. If you asking me some questions and you want specifics, then let's talk astrology because that's the language that we're gonna have in common. I'm a more move on a spiritual sense. So my answers is how I move through my shit. If you want to know how you move, the way that he moved through shit is how he's supposed to. You're a Sagittarius rising. So you're on a quest for knowledge. I'm here for the people that you study that you shouldn't make their mistakes for. So the way that you go through life is not the way I'm supposed to go through life. The reason that you even go through that way is because certain people are sharing their stories and things like that. So you really need to look at your archetype. Don't take nobody advice that's not in alignment with where you even going. So look at your astrology chart, okay, your birth chart. Take your birthday, take the time and the city you was born. If you don't know the time, even just start with the other parts. Hit me up in the DMs or something if you have some questions because we're not going to get to all of it right here. But I say that to say, I used my birth chart to become a millionaire the first time. I closed my business down for 30 days because I realized the date that I started it held the energy that I had on that day, which was I'm trying to hurry up and start this business by Valentine's Day because it was an intimate company. And that rushing energy stayed with the company for 2 years. I shut the company down for 30 days, which y'all have seen other companies do this, but y'all don't know it. They're using astrology, but they don't want you to use it. Like they say millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. But anyways, like Pepsi will close their shit down, change the emblem. It gives it a new energy. I shut my business down for 30 days, became a millionaire that year because I was doing it with a certain intention. I'm moved by intuitive energy. That's my chart. You need to understand what you're moved by. And a lot of y'all making moves that go with someone else's birth chart, not yours. My birth chart has showed me all the trauma I went through. It showed my divorce. It shows what's next. It shows even this living experience. And the beautiful thing is that I didn't use it for every single step of the way, but now that things are done, I can look back and literally say, this is what was going on with this astrologically, but I didn't even consider that, you know? And a lot of people don't. They think astrology is for who am I going to love and things like that, but it is literally a tool. And you should use every tool down here to figure yourself out. And anybody that's giving you a story, eat the meat, spit the bones. This is what works for me. And it helps just give you more ideas, more vocabulary, more voice for the things you're trying to understand about yourself. There is no destination. The destination is death. That's it. So it's going to keep changing. Practice not being judgmental to yourself. Be graceful and just be proud of yourself. But if you think success is something that visibly looks like something, that's usually a big part of it. Everybody has this thing of what they think success is. But it's usually not even what they think it is. They don't know, but they don't want to go on that journey because we don't want to risk it. Like life is hard right now to be taking these type of risks, you know? So
you saying that, and this is what I say this is what I think, and I say it to the right people if I think they can handle it. It's always been hard. Like in our lifetime, like we're a year or two apart in age, like nigga, it's always been hard. Like fucking .com crash in 2000, housing crisis in 08, there was another recession in 2012.
Pluto and Capricorn.
It's fucking, like, it's always been fucking hard. Like, I don't want to hear that excuse of, oh, it's hard. It's a recession. When times are good, then I'm going to take the risk. Like, just admit that you're scared, bro. I think there are 12 different ways to say everything. And I think the way that you're saying it resonates, and it's going to resonate with people that are Cancer or Capricorn energy, because you have like 7 placements in Capricorn. That is a Capricorn. A Capricorn is there for the structure. They don't give a fuck about nothing. It's old money. They don't care about your emotions or your feelings.
That's Aquarius stuff. So yes, there are certain people that should take that route. But you got me on the other hand, where everybody's like, hey, just get that shit done. What about when I don't want to live? Like, let's talk about it. Because everybody had a source for me, and you should keep doing this, is making all this money. The fact that I want to hang from my shower curtain don't matter to y'all though, because as long as it look like I'm successful, that's all that matters. If you're not happy, that's enough. That's enough reason to do something. And yes, some people do need to be nurtured a little more, because you're talking about just do something because you want to do it. I'm trying to just survive today sometimes. Everybody worried about the business. And the thing is, if you're trying to build something before you've really built yourself, you're going to have difficulty. And if you don't know where the fuck to start, or you don't know who you are, you don't know, have nobody to ask, what's going to be your process? Capricorns are cocky as fuck, but you can't tell them nothing. They think they the finest shit. They think they the richest shit. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. That's great. Love that for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got Neptune in Capricorn. I'm delusional about money. What you mean? Like, this smile is money today. If that's what I need, and I bet you I walk out and get everything I need taken care of. I'm delusional about money because I'm the money. It's just a matter of exchange of resources. So what I use to make my magic is not going to be the same thing as you. And what's your magic? It's going to be something totally different. You know what I'm saying? And we go to those people. Look at your birth chart. Figure out what your archetype is. But yes, a lot of y'all don't want to do the work. You're scared. And it's okay. If that's the case, find a community. And it's not your best friends. Your best friends is not your community. Your community. I made Rich Bitch Bible Study. Rich was in it. It was Rich, me, Terry, Felicia, DeJohn, Wayne. Rich Bitch Bible Study. By the time we got done with that year, another one of us had walked out a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like, get you an accountability group to start where you are. Do 75 hard, but don't make it hard. Do 75 medium. I do 75 medium all the time. I 75 medium ain't even 75 days. It's 30 days of me picking 5 things that I need to do, that I know I need. It don't even have to be as measurable as you think it is. Put down move every day. Don't say an hour. Don't say 30 minutes. It's about getting the reps in. Because if you show up in 30 days in a row, naturally, you're going to want to show up more days. You're going to show up more time. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't know how to get started. Mm-hmm. What's that motherfucking book? Atomic Habits.
Oh, okay.
Check out Atomic Habits. Y'all ain't even got to read it. Go Google it. Get somebody that gave a little blurb. You know what I'm saying? They hit a couple points. Do what you can. Start where you are. But don't put that shit on us. You handle it and sit with it. A lot of people be putting that shit on other people. Oh, da da da. That's what Capricorns don't want to hear. Don't talk to me about it unless you're trying to solve a problem. I can get with you on that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and hold it for you. If you okay with where you are, be okay with where you at. And if you're not, do something about it. It don't have to be aggressive, but do something. Nothing is also ever good enough. Which one is it? I can learn real nigga radio. We can do real nigga radio. But also, it's just, nobody's done it before. Nobody's gotten it right. Nobody's gotten it right. And now we know so much. It's not easy. And nobody says prioritize happiness. It's the whimsical people that didn't shave their head and went bankrupt and crazy that's telling you to do that shit. But, you know, I'm glad I've done it, because now y'all gonna listen to me. Just like y'all was listening when I was telling y'all to rub them coochies. Like, we getting there. Y'all gonna start it.
Right.
You know?
All right, so it was the rub them coochies that got me. I'm sorry.
And then they be starting to listen. They're like, okay, so she ain't just 10 hatting.
Yeah.
She, you know.
All right, so let's change speeds a little bit, right? I kind of want to take you into the best segment in podcasting, Quit Happens, to where we talk a little bit about the things that are in your private conversations between you and the besties and that live in a group chat, but I don't want to bring them out loud. I want to bring them up front, because it's the things that people are scared to hear somebody else say, or even afraid to even acknowledge themselves, right? So the first thing, finish the sentence for me. I stopped recognizing myself when what?
When I was scared to go on a road trip, which is why I'm on it. Because who the fuck are you? You went to Brazil with no money. Mm-hmm. On vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Big vibes.
Big vibes.
Big vibes.
And now it's like you nervous about getting in the van you already live in the country your ass been in the whole time you've been alive, and you scared to go on a road trip because you don't know where you're going. At what point? I didn't recognize myself, because when did you get so scary? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's a jumping out of a plane, scuba diving, you went bald this year on the whim type shit person. And so when I realized like I wasn't taking the same risk, and I think about like every big risk I made recently was in somebody else, I just didn't even recognize myself. And so, you know, now I got to go do it.
So you reiterated numerous times throughout this interview, the hardest thing to lose wasn't the money, because you voluntarily gave it up.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing to lose for you?
My sovereignty. Because I didn't respect it. I didn't realize I had it. I didn't realize what sovereignty was. A lot of people associate sovereignty with like being single and childless. But real sovereignty is still there after that. My child respects my sovereignty. I don't put down everything for my child. We talk about like, hey, you want to do something today? No problem. Then I'm going to do something tomorrow so you can come with me. Okay. Like I'm teaching them that now. And then they wonder where the gap is in some of the kids. You don't let them see you being a human. You just cater to everything for them.
The person who's afraid to start over needs to know what?
Sometimes that's what the fuck you need to do. If you keep going, you're going to keep building wrong. You do not want them to build your house on a faulty foundation and it's leaning. You're going to have a bigger issue. You don't want to stay on the train that's going in the wrong direction. Even if you don't know where to go, you can stop what the fuck you're doing now. You can at least stop. I know I'm on the wrong direction. Don't keep fucking going till you figure it out. Stop. But a lot of people can't afford to stop. A lot of people can't even afford to do something free. That's when you know you lost your sovereignty. If I gave you, I could say, hey, I got 30 days. I want you to go to this. It's completely free in Italy. You're going to learn how to cook and all this other stuff. And we're going to hook you up, and then send you back. Most people can't even afford to go do something that's taken care of. Most people can't even afford to receive because you're doing every fucking thing yourself.
So that leads me to my next question. Why is freedom so expensive?
Because we think that we got to buy stuff to be free. When because capitalism, patriarchy, don't get me started.
Them crackers. Go ahead.
No, for real, like capitalism, it did like, think about Capricorn energy and any energy, is that when anything stay in the oven too long, it's going to burn, okay? Mm-hmm. Pluto was in Capricorn because yes, it was that time in our society where it's time to evolve our structure, right? But then it stayed in the oven too long. And then now, anytime I watch a video, my ass cheeks clench because I'm not sure if I'm going to comment this to get this. Like, I'm not sure if I'm actually watching something or being sold to or whatever. Mm-hmm. It just went too long. And also, people do what works. So if Capricorn things were working, people that's not even that started doing it and doing it only in that way. Not eating the meat and say, I like this, I'm inspired by this. Let me sit with this and then make it my own. They're just duplicating everything. So we're about to go through that, like that change for sure.
So
money don't fix everything.
It does not.
You know what? May I say something else?
Go for it.
I did a video recently about, I make van life content, right? Mm-hmm. And my thing is really just kind of shining a light on certain things that have changed that we don't realize. And one of the ones that got a lot of feedback was I said, when did we start putting washing machines in the house? Because I was at the laundromat and like, it was so many things I had to get done, but I ended up just getting everything done because like my clothes were there. I couldn't go anywhere. So I was able to turn on my like lo-fi and knock a couple things out and like really reset throughout a rushing day. And it's like, most people don't buy back their time. They invest that money. First off, people don't invest their money back into the business, but when they get their time back, they fill it with another task, not another hobby, not another excitement, joy, or passion or anything. Right? They've squeezed all that shit out of the recipe. And I'm just like, when did that happen? Because think about it. You think you're buying a washer and dryer to free up some time, but then you throw those clothes in the wash and go busy yourself with something else. Or now you got to keep working because that requires now a water bill. If I have a washer and dryer I don't want to let go of, then now I have to have an apartment to plug up that washer and dryer and I have to pay an electricity bill. I like my capitalism. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, yes, y'all, we live in a capitalistic world, but you don't have to do you don't have to participate single part. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't. I'm not telling y'all to go to the laundromat. Y'all live in a van, but I'm just saying like, that's a great example of.
But I am telling y'all to just quit that job. So
honestly, before y'all quit that job, y'all need to quit second guessing yourself, quit having low self-esteem, quit a lot of other shit before y'all always ready to quit a job before y'all quit the other shit.
So we're going to leave the people with this, right? This whole brand of just quit, it's all about choosing the life that you deserve. So from today going forward, for Samia Burton, Miss Enter the Thing, what is continuing to choose the life you deserve look like for you?
Choosing a life I don't need a vacation from. That's what it looks like for me. I I hate to say I don't dream of work, but sometimes I do. I like creating. Y'all call it work, but I like doing that shit. So I can go on vacation, but then I'm like, damn, I really want to do this. I had the right ingredients all along. It's just really focusing on the measurements. That's what it looks like for me. I have the right ingredients. I know what I like, but getting the measurements correct so that way I can continue to, change, making a life that's sovereign for me, which means when I change my mind, I don't have to start all the way over anymore. By just working on understanding my own value, I'm doing that because now there's nothing that I am a part of that doesn't also recognize that same value. Like just creating a life I don't need a vacation from. I need it all intertwined. I need to be able to go work at the beach. I need to be able to do it all. And like this, finding a lifestyle that works for me really helps. And I think people need to explore a little more. They only explore what they got, kind of like religion. They just explore what is kind of handed to them, but that's not always the best thing.
That's why I left the bank. The last thing I had was, I want to live a life that revolves around me and not around work. And I've been chasing that ever since.
Most people don't know what certain things cost. When you're not happy at work, you might be like, oh, it's the money. And a lot of men run into that, right? It's like, I don't want to leave that because the money's so good, da-da-da-da-da. But it's like, but eventually your kids can't stand you because you're always doing that. Your wife is like, I wish you were at work. Like the energy is better when you're not around and you don't even realize what it's really costing you.
So we're going to say that for part 2.
Okay.
Like I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Because you're about to go into good. We're going to say that for part 2.
That's real.
So let the people know where they can find you, all the brands, or at least your 2 favorite for today.
I know, right? Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate y'all. Maya Bugsy, MIABUGGZY is my Instagram. Oh, wrong one. Let's try it again. Real content made by real people, right? So thank you guys. This was amazing. You can find me on Instagram at Maya Bugsy. That's MIABUGGZY. And if you look at my bio, all my brands are there. And then you can find me on YouTube, Samia Burton, and you can find all of my podcasts and all different creations. If you want to see the content house, that's there. I got van life content, everything. And if you were not aware of Sexual Essentials and you need to go, create you a little magic from scratch, all of that is also still available on my Patreon, and my community meets weekly there on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, tap in where you fit in. Van life. If you need someone to assist with your creations or whatever, Bankrupt Millionaire, Not Just Another Sex Podcast, and I Am Home Astrology is the page is up now. They gave me back my Sexual Essentials page.
Hey, we lit. Shout out.
Ironically, right? Because I think it's just a continuation from sexology to astrology. Right. So, yeah. So I appreciate it wherever you decide to show up, to start where you are, and I appreciate you guys.